Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Friday, January 7th. Disclosure, I just want to give you a heads up that my voice is going to shake and I'm going to feel and sound unlike myself. I'm going through a pretty tough time, pretty traumatic event just happened that I might go into more depth about in Friday's ascension forecast for the week. But just know that I'm here, I'm showing up, I'm going to do my best, and hopefully this isn't as painful for you to listen to as it is for me to actually get out. So today we are still riding with the moon in Pisces. The moon in Pisces is providing us a very, very gentle release from some of the attachments and identities in which we've been very intertwined with for the past 12 years. The moon in Pisces is very sensitive. We are very connected to the metaphysical realm and therefore can become very overwhelmed with what energy is ours and what energy belongs to other people. We have 9 different aspects taking place here today, and 9 of them involve this Piscean moon. The moon in Pisces is about endings and about closures, something that I am learning all too well about this week, as many of you are. This is what happens when we level up. We have to go through an adjustment period, and that release, that purge, that adjustment, that transition can be very, very freaking painful. Nonetheless, we are warriors. We are here to work through it. We have the tools to deal with the pain, with the trauma, with the shadow self. The moon is going to sextile the sun. And this is going to give us a beautiful energy to not only be able to heal the pain that we're currently feeling, but to also tap into our intuition and connect the dots to the higher realms of why these situations are unfolding. The sun being in Capricorn is very focused on our long-term goals and framework in which we need to start thinking about now in order to prepare to actually build when the universe is giving us the green light, go ahead to actually do so. We might feel a little bit stalled out, a little bit frustrated though, because the moon in Pisces squares tension, conflict with Mars in Sagittarius. Mars, of course, rules over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, and him being in Sagittarius, we've been pushing to align with a higher purpose, a higher meaning, a higher truth. The moon in Pisces wants to concentrate on the metaphysical realm and our emotional realm and our imaginary realms, while the Mars energy wants us to stay very present in the here and now, which can be very difficult while we go through this particular transition. The moon is going to bump into the true node in a positive way. And although many of us are bearing the weight, bearing the pain, bearing the trauma of leaving certain identities, people, relationship, and just attachments behind, we are thinking about how this particular loss is adding and contributing to the new plan in which we have to think about ourselves and moving forward on. The moon sextiles Venus, and Venus is retrograde in Capricorn. She is about to actually meet her star point with the sun, and this particular point in time, which will actually take place tomorrow evening, is going to really allow us to see the shift in our values, in our relationships, in our worth, and our values moving forward. Now, Venus has been in the underworld. She is still very much retrograde until the end of the month. However, now that she is meeting her star point of return, it means that she's coming out of the darkness. And it might take us a while to actually see the light, but we're no longer sitting at the bottom of the pit. We actually see a way up, a way out. And we just have to piece together our new plan, our new elements, our new pieces to actually get us out of this very, very dark, shadowy pit. The moon is going to conjunct Neptune. Of course, Neptune is in Pisces and rules over Pisces. The moon conjunct with Neptune is really going to give us a little bit of magic, a little bit of energy to tap into our vision, our dreams for the future, really kind of deal with the pain and the trauma that is arising within us, asking for a very, very connected, accepted release. It is going to be a time where we can feel overwhelmed and hyperstimulated. It can be a time where we want to escape reality altogether. I would recommend, as difficult as siphoning through some of these emotions can be, to really do the work and prevent yourself from a lot of work in the future by dealing with it now instead of putting your head in the sand and trying to run from it. The moon is going to semi-square Mercury, and Mercury is in its pre-shadow period, preparing to go retrograde later on in the week. We have this beautiful tension point where, unfortunately, sometimes we have to be backed into a corner and have our plans and have our reality totally destroyed in order for us to put the pieces back together in the right kind of way to support the kind of dreams and the kind of visions that we now feel inspired to pursue. Even more than that, we're connecting the dots. We're very nostalgic, we're very reflective, but we're also trying to piece together why certain situations had to happen in order to prepare us for this point. We want to watch out though, because the moon semi-squaring Mercury can also put a lot of misunderstandings and miscommunications in the way that we speak to other people. We can be misunderstood ourselves, or we can be a little bit edgy, a little bit defensive, creating a little bit of drama where there doesn't need to be any. This is going to add to a little bit of confusion because the moon is going to be semi-squaring Uranus. Uranus normally gives us a little bit of clarity, opens our mind, and gives us a bigger, broader perspective, but we're a little bit overwhelmed right now. And instead of getting a little bit of clarity and insight for the future, we're definitely going to be bogged down in our mental plane with confusion, with uncertainty, with doubts, with just a sense of unknowing. We are going to get an opportunity to heal certain parts of those aspects if we're brave enough to dive in deep and make the connections. The moon in Pisces is going to sextile Pluto. Pluto wants to transform us, mind, body, and soul. And the moon in Pisces, very healing, very much trying to, do the right the wrongs of the past. We are put in a position where this could be a total boss up energy, depending on the amount of analyzing that we're willing to do within ourselves, within our life contracts, within our certain missions and patterns and moving forward. The moon is going to semi-square Saturn, and this is definitely going to put a lot of weight on our shoulders. This is going to put us in a pressurized position to really look at the roles and responsibilities that we have in life, where it is that we're feeling depleted, where it is that we're feeling overwhelmed, where it is that we need to free ourselves from some of the commitments and constructs in which we recognize now are no longer in alignment with the kind of dreams and the kind of path in which we pursue.